What's up, Everyday Blades? We got a rare knife here for us. This is a custom, full custom, from Sharknivco. It's actually spelled Sharknivco, but I'm assuming they were going for the Knifeco, so I say Sharknivco. Comes with a nice pelican case, like, a lot of great knives used to. And I think when you're buying a custom knife, an expensive knife, which this is, I think these are running around $1,500, $1,600. It should come with a pretty nice case, at least a Pelican case. It's got their nice logo in there and name of their company. Super cool. And then we have the information. They put a stamp into some wax, hot wax, to seal the envelope. And it comes with refrigerator magnets, stickers, all the good stuff. And more sticker. Wow, that's a lot of stickers. And this is the Holy Waka. The Waka is the model. The Holy is the description of the model. I've had two of their knives. I had the Mini Goblin. The Mini Goblin was in RWL 34 also, and this is as well. It was made 10 of 23. Very cool. Stick this back in here. We'll take a look at the knife. So, I just recently reviewed the Mini Goblin. I actually traded the Mini Goblin for this knife. Now, a lot of you know the Koenig Mini Goblin is one of my favorite knives of all time. It's in my top 5. I love that knife. So I thought buying the custom, I would like it even more. That didn't happen. It was just too small. The Koenig Mini Goblin is thick, and it gives me plenty of purchase around it. And I like the Koenig Mini Goblin substantially better than the Sharknivco Mini Goblin. If you don't know, Sharknivco designed it, and they collaborated with Koenig to make their own, and they've made them for years. I love the shape overall. The looks of the Sharknivco Mini Goblin is out of this world. It's beautiful, and even looks better thinner. But handling it in my big hands, it just was too awkward. The action just wasn't as good. The action for me was better on the Koenig Mini Goblin. It wasn't bad. It was just for, something that has free range bearings in it and all that stuff. I think it probably should have operated a little bit better. Plus, a big sticking point for me, which still falls on this knife, is the hardware, proprietary hardware. And the tool to get this is about 10 times harder to get than the knife is. So, I just think it's fine to make proprietary hardware because it looks really cool, but include the tool with the knife. Your customers are paying you good money. You can throw a tool in there. I mean, you can mass produce those things. So, I got this knife not expecting to like it, especially after I handled the Mini Goblin. It just wasn't for me, but I wanted to try one more, and it seems like customs overall just aren't for me. I like production mid-tech knives. For some reason, I just resonate with them more, and I resonate with the price more. But when I open this thing, oof, man, now that's what I think a custom ought to feel like. Most of the customs I've handled don't have actions like that. Now, that's probably just the ones that I bought. I know there are some killer customs out there. Probably just way out of my price range. This one has extensive milling that you can even see from the outside, but it has milling even on top of that on the inside. These have a big wide circle of free range bearings in there. There's no bearing cage. RWL 34, it's got like media blasted. It's a good finish. It doesn't show fingerprints, but it's nice and smooth and feels good. I'm very happy with the finish. The back spacer is super cool. I just think that looks great. The clip, they hit a home run on the clip. I need to tighten that up. It's a little far out. It doesn't really grab my pants like I need it to, especially for a knife of this expense. They did a great job with the design. It just looks super nice. It's just a good looking knife overall, and it looks better in person than it even does in pictures or videos. I saw it and I was like, man, it's a nice looking knife. It's a good shape. It didn't jump out to me like the Mini Goblin did. That shape really resonates with me. But when I got this in hand, I was like, wow. And this knife kind of reiterates something I've been saying for years, that over travel stop is a gimmick. It just isn't needed. This knife doesn't have one. The reason I say that is because I've been collecting knives half my life, and I'm getting up there in age. I've never heard of anyone. I definitely haven't, but I've never heard of anyone aggressively over travel in their lock bar. It doesn't happen. Plus, it makes it a lot easier if you need to tune your lock bar. You ain't got to take everything apart and take that little piece out and take a chance on losing the screw. You just push your lock bar out a little bit and relieve it. They're all too tight coming from a manufacturer. This one was perfect. I didn't have to do anything to this knife. I love that jimping, that small jimping. Super elegant. Just very, very nicely done. The thumb studs were perfect. Your fingers can be all over this lock bar. To me, that's a test of whether a knife functions really well. Is can I lazy finger my fingers on the lock bar and still open it without noticing it? And then this one's an absolute yes. With the Mini Goblin, there's a certain way you have to hold that knife. You actually have to put your index finger on the pivot on the back side. You can't even look at the lock bar, or it's not going to open. And I don't like that. I believe if I could get in there and tune it, that I could tune that out of it. But makers tune their knives a little tighter so they'll wear in. Well, I don't want to wait a year for it to break in. But the pressure on this lock bar is just perfect. Very nice. I'm very happy with this knife. Let's look at it up against a couple other knives. The Rat 1. It's the perfect size regular knife is what I'd call it for me. It's right in the middle of the Rat 1 and the Rat 2. You can easily carry this for your main knife. It's not a backup knife. It's plenty big enough to be your main knife. But anywho, let's check the weight because it does not weigh a lot. .6 ounces. Man, that's really nice. And of course, you can see where all the weight went. Now, this is completely meaningless, but I've been doing it on every knife now, so we'll do it on this one. Because this is a second-hand knife. It's been used and stropped. I don't think it's been sharpened, but I know it's been stropped because I've stropped it a couple of times. And I know it was stropped before I got it. And it was used because I could see tiny little scratches on the side of the bevel. 210, yeah. It's just not super. I mean, it's razor blade sharp, but if I sharpened it, it'd be a 100 or under. Throw that away. I just like this little machine. It's cool. Plus, that tells me, hey, my knife's plenty sharp. I don't need to sharpen it. That's with a strop. I know it's hair shaving sharp because I shaved my arm with it earlier. I shaved a piece of my hair off on my arm pretty readily. But look at, see, like that. Normally on like the Medfords when they had the 6-gun hardware, you could use a spanner bit, like a number 6 or whatever it was, spanner bit, and open it right up. You could buy that at the store. There ain't nothing, and I mean nothing, I don't think you can buy at the store off the shelf and open that tiny thing. I can't explain to you how small that is. You're zoomed in on it so it don't look that small. It's tiny. It would take about 15 or 20 of those to make a dime. So you really need a precise tool to get in there. I'm not saying you couldn't make one, or I couldn't make one out of maybe the smallest spanner bit they got and just shave it down to where it's razor thin. But when I'm messing with a piece of hardware like that around a knife that's expensive, I want the right tool. I don't want to use a homemade tool on it and scratch it. But for me, it does have a front flipper that I can actually flip, so that's saying something. I could take or leave the front flipper. I actually prefer it wouldn't be on there. I'd rather it be a smoother transition there. I don't care to use it. So they got their logo, and they have a really cool Goblin logo. I think it's pretty sweet. Well, that's it for the Sharknivco or Sharknivco Holy Waka. And there's a lot of different styles that don't have the holes in them. That are just Wakas, and there's tons of different versions of them. One that I saw has a hand rubbed satin blade. Whoo, man. The Edison Barajas is the owner of the company, and he's the maker, so he knows his stuff. He does a fantastic job. I've seen some of his hand satin work, and it is beautiful. So, anyway, guys, there it is. Thanks for watching. God bless you and your families. Say a prayer for our country. Good night.